Even odd indices. Problem statement. You are given a function, def find count. The function accepts an integer array ARR and its length. Implement this function to find and return the number of elements of ARR, which are even numbers and are at the even indices, or odd numbers and are at the odd indices. Note: array indexing starts from 0. 0 is an even number. Here is example. In input we have an array. In the output we have a count. Here is the explanation. We will write yes if the index and value at that index is even, or if the index and value at that index is odd. And in the output we need the count of yes. As you can see the array. The index 0 is even, and 12 is also even, so yes. The index 1 is odd, and 3 is also odd, so yes. The index 2 is even, and 14 is also even, so yes. The index 3 is odd, but 56 is not odd, it is even, so no. At last we have to count the number of yes. And that's our output. Let's begin with the code. This is our compiler. On the right-hand side is our console for input and output. This is the array that we will provide as input. For storing the input, let's take a variable named ARR. We are taking the input, splitting it with spaces. The map function will convert all these splitted string values into integer. Then list function generates list from that values. Let's print and check if the conversion is successful or not. List and array are one and the same. In Python we call it list, and in other languages we call it array. So don't be confused, I may call array and sometimes list. Yes, it is producing the list. Now we need to pass this array to function, find count, which will return the count of correct values. Let's print and check if ARR is passed successfully. Always keep a habit of running the code in between. This will save your time and it will be easy to resolve the errors. Yes, it is as we wanted to be. The function is not returning anything, so none is printed. After return we haven't written anything. We will be iterating through the list and checking its every index and the values on that index. So we will be needing the length of array. Let's take a variable, L, and store the length of array in it. Let's print the length of array and check. Yes, that's correct. To iterate through array we will use a for loop, in which I varies from 0 to L. Now we will write conditional statement to check if the index is even and value at that index is even. If a number is even, then it will be divisible by 2. If it is even, then its remainder will be equal to 0. If the number is odd, then it will not be divisible by 2. If it is odd, then its remainder will not be equal to 0. Or if the index is odd and the value at that index is odd, then we will increment the count. Oh, we forget to take count variable. Let's take a variable count and initialize it to 0. And increment it whenever the above condition is true. At last we will return the count. Let's run and check. Oh, my bad, I wrote A instead of ARR. Let's change and rerun. Yes, that's correct. Let's make it ergonomic so that even a layman can understand. Now looking good. Let's check for another test case. Yes, that's correct. Let's check for another test case. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's also correct, because all the values are same as index, so all will satisfy our criterion. That's why the output is 8. Let's check for another test case. That is 1 to 8. That's also correct, because none of the values are same as index, so none of them satisfies our criterion. That's why the output is 0. Our code has passed all the test cases successfully.
Thanks for watching Python Everyday. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to watch other videos on our channel. Goodbye. See you in the next video.